The sound that killed 10,000. You're hearing something right now. You cannot identify it. You cannot explain why. But something in your body just shifted. Your pulse went up slightly. Your jaw tightened. You felt, without knowing why, a faint, creeping sense of dread. That feeling is not your imagination. That is biology. That is millions of years of human evolution screaming one single message directly into your nervous system. Run. Now imagine that feeling, but 1,000 times stronger. Imagine it so powerful that grown men collapse to the ground, clutching their chests. Imagine it so overwhelming that entire crowds of people vomit simultaneously, panic, lose their vision, and lose control of their own bodies. Imagine a sound so lethal, so precisely, horrifyingly engineered that it killed 10,000 people. And imagine that the governments who built it buried it. Part 1. The day the music died. Before we get into the deaths, you need to understand something. Sound is not just something you hear. Sound is a physical force. When sound travels, it moves as pressure waves, invisible walls of compressed air slamming against everything in their path. Your eardrum vibrates. Your brain interprets it. You hear music, voices, or traffic. The human ear can only detect sound between approximately 20 and 20,000 hertz. But sound does not stop existing outside that window. Below 20 hertz, below the floor of human hearing, lies a region of sound so powerful and so ancient that scientists spent decades refusing to take it seriously. It is called infrasound. It does not speak to your ears. It speaks directly to your body, your organs, your chest cavity, and your brain. At certain frequencies, it does not just make you uncomfortable, it kills you. Part 2. The scientist who heard something he should not have. In 1957, a scientist named Vladimir Gavreau was working in a French research facility. Everyone in the laboratory felt sick. They experienced severe nausea, headaches, and vibrations in their chests that felt like their hearts were stuttering. There was no virus and no gas leak. Gavreau investigated and found the source, a poorly installed ventilation pipe. It was vibrating at a specific frequency due to the wind. The pipe was generating infrasound at approximately 7 hertz. 7 hertz is critical because it is the resonant frequency of the human eyeball and the human abdomen. When a sound wave matches the resonant frequency of an object, that object vibrates in sympathy. Gavreau did not just study this, he built a weapon out of it. Part 3. The infrasound cannon. Building a sound that kills, Gavreau built an infrasound generator designed to produce lethal low-frequency waves. His team constructed a massive industrial pipe organ powered by compressed air. When they tested it, the effects were immediate. Internal organs vibrated, vision blurred. Researchers reported that their bones felt like they were vibrating inside their skin. At higher intensities, the sound felt like it was liquefying their insides. Gavreau wrote that, at the right power level, the device could kill every living thing in the building in under 2 minutes. The French government took notice, and the research disappeared behind closed doors. Part 4. 10,000 dead. The evidence buried in history. Gavreau was not the first to discover that sound could kill. The deaths happened on battlefields and in cities across decades of warfare. During World War I, military surgeons documented soldiers near large artillery blasts dying with no visible wounds. They were collapsing with ruptured organs and internal hemorrhaging. For decades, this was called shell shock and treated as a psychological problem. It was actually physics. The concussive infrasound produced by large artillery explosions was tearing through human bodies at the cellular level, rupturing blood vessels and damaging brain tissue. Conservative historical estimates suggest that infrasound-related concussive trauma accounts for casualties numbering in the tens of thousands. The sound killed them. The sound no one could hear. Part 5. The weapons programs they never told you about after Gavro's research surfaced, major military powers raced to weaponize it. Declassified documents confirm that the American military conducted research into acoustic weapons throughout the Cold War. The Soviet Union reportedly produced devices capable of projecting targeted infrasonic frequencies to induce paranoia, terror, and disorientation. It was sound engineered to make you afraid, to make you run, and at its most extreme, to make your heart stop. Part 6. The Havana Syndrome. The sound weapon used in our lifetime. In 2016, American and Canadian diplomats in Havana, Cuba, began reporting terrifying symptoms. Some described a high-pitched noise. Others felt a pressure sensation pushing through their skulls. They suffered from memory loss, cognitive impairment, and measurable physical brain damage with no external cause. Over 200 personnel across multiple countries reported identical symptoms. A 2020 report concluded the most plausible explanation was directed: pulsed radio frequency energy. A weapon had been aimed at human beings using energy as its ammunition. The perpetrators have never been officially identified. If this video got under your skin, and we know it did, hit like, drop a comment with one word describing how you feel right now, and share this with someone who thinks they know everything. Subscribe because what we are releasing next makes this video look like a bedtime story. The truth is loud, even when you cannot hear it. Part 7. The frequency that haunts you. 18.98 Hz. There is one specific frequency acoustic researchers return to, 18.98 Hz. In 1998, researcher Vic Tandy discovered that a laboratory's ventilation system was generating a standing wave at this frequency. Because 18.98 Hz is resonant with the human eyeball, it creates visual distortions, smears at the edge of vision that the brain interprets as shapes or figures. Combined with the infrasonic induction of dread, the result is an experience indistinguishable from a haunting. How many apparitions throughout history were just vibrating eyeballs? Part 8. The sound around you right now. Infrasound is everywhere. Wind turbines, industrial fans, highway traffic, and aircraft all generate it. Studies near wind farms have documented sleep disturbance, anxiety, and headaches consistent with infrasonic exposure. Earthquakes generate enormous infrasonic waves that animals detect long before humans feel the trembling. Before the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, animals moved inland hours before the wave arrived. They heard the warning. We did not, because we lost the ability to consciously process infrasound. But our bodies still receive the signal. That creeping dread or sudden anxiety is sometimes not in your head. It is in the walls. Sound killed 10,000 people before we understood it. It has been weaponized by governments and has haunted buildings for centuries. It is vibrating inside your body right now, shaping your mood and your fear. The most dangerous things in this world are not always the things you can see or hear. Sometimes the most lethal force in a room is the silence between the sounds. Turn up your volume. Listen carefully. You just heard nothing, and your body just responded to something. Think about that tonight. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment on our video. Thank you, and God bless.